What are some common sources of organic fertilizers?
Yeah, I think the common sources, which everybody knows, that's manure from variety of animals. But of recent, the litter, the decomposing litter. For example, if you go into a natural forest, if you go into a natural woodland, a natural savanna, and you get the leaves that decomposing, not the soil, it contains a lot of beneficial microorganisms. And if you can feed these and release them in the farm, that is another source. So I would say manure, but decomposing leaves and other organic matter. But also something very important these days, the molasses. Because molasses is a very good food. It gives energy to microorganisms so they can work best.
What challenges do farmers face when transitioning from synthetic to organic fertilizers?
Yeah, I think if you have been actually using a lot of chemical fertilizers or chemical pesticides, you have already you destroy a lot of the system. All the microorganisms are dead. The soil fertility is gone. No microorganisms. So you find the challenge would be the first years you can lose the entire crop because you are still making a system. And when you see a crop being lost, if you are not patient enough, you say, this is not working. Then you go back. So you go into that vicious cycle, but not being patient. So the challenge is you cannot transition from conventional to organic in 1 year. So that is a big challenge. You must be patient, slowly by slowly. After a few years, then you have developed the full system.
Can you share us any experiences or case studies where organic fertilizers significantly improved crop yields?
I will start from here. We are just coming from Harvest Money Expo. And we took matoke from here. And our bunch, the bunches which you took, we sold it at 70,000. They were so huge. So a very good case study is here. If you come here and you see our yields, each crop, from the fruit trees, from the vegetables, the yields are very, very high. And what is amazing, we have some yields throughout the year. For example, here we have avocado throughout the year. But I would say, I'll give you one case study, which actually I saw in Costa Rica, whereby people complained of the overweight of vegetables. A vegetable being so big, and one person, for example, the eggplant, a household cannot finish an eggplant because it's too big. So you find, for those people who have actually taken up organic farming and done it thorough, the yield is very, very high. But also I've seen, for example, in Uganda here, if you go to Ankole Coffee Cooperative Union, they are exporting organic coffee, and they have a lot of coffee, but all organic, and they are exporting that coffee, and the yield is very good.
How do you assess the nutrient content of organic fertilizers?
Yeah, I think there are two things, there are two ways. I told you that the fertility of the soil depends on how active the microorganisms are. So if you are to assess the fertility of the soil, then you must assess the microorganism, and that is done in the laboratory, but also for the farmer, you can do it physically. For example, if you go and uproot a plant a soil which is very fertile, when you uproot it, it will come with a bunch, the soil, the whole of it. It doesn't come as a root, but it brings a bunch of it. So that is the physical, without going to the lab. But also, if you have to use chemicals, you can use what we call hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is a chemical. If you, for example, you poured it on the soil, which is very fertile, it will fume. It will bring a lot of bubbles. But if you pour it on the soil which is not fertile, the bubbles will not be there. So there are different ways. But also there is another one, which is the method which they call paper chromatography. Paper chromatography, whereby you get the soil, put it in water, and then you get this water you put in the center of blotting paper. When the soil is very fertile, it will spread, giving different colors on the paper. So I think there are very many methods of how you can assess the soil fertility.
Do government regulations impact the use and production of organic farming?
We are very lucky that during 2019, the government approved the organic policy in this country. However, this policy needs a bill, and as I talk now, the government is trying, the ministry is trying to put in place a bill to regulate the organic farming. However, there is a goodwill from government. I can see many, especially in the Ministry of Agriculture, they are supporting the development of organic in this country. But because we don't have yet a bill, there is no regulation which has been put. There is no regulating of organic farming. However, the organic market is really regulated because there are organic standards. For example, now we have the Uganda organic standards, we have the East African organic product standards, but also we have the international. Therefore, in order to sell a product as organic, it must be inspected and certified by those competent bodies, and you are given a mark to say that you are organic. However, as I say, the government, because we don't have the bill yet, has not started regulating so much the organic agriculture product.
How do you stay updated on organic farming regulations and standards?
I'm the chairman of the Organic Movement of Uganda. We have this body, the apex body, which regulates, which actually oversees organic farming in Uganda. But also there is an international federation of organic agriculture, which actually does research in all countries of the world. And through that, we are able to know the status of organic farming in the whole world. For example, now, as I talk, Uganda is the second largest producer of organic products in Africa. I think it's the second. So you find we are updated because of that network in which we are. But also, for example, Makerere University is doing a lot of research, which has been commissioned by the Organic Movement of Uganda, known as NOGAM.
Your last remarks to farmers and people out there about organic farming.
As my last remarks, organic farming is not just a system for other, but it's a way of living. We must eat food which is going to build our body, which is going to build our brain. That's the first thing. The food, organic farming, it gives us healthy food. We must protect our environment. And it's organic farming that can protect the environment. But lastly, you find organic farming is development, But I'm lucky that I'm the chairman of the organic movement, but also I was blessed that I sit on Uganda Lukiiko. So I'm very happy to be part of organic and also part of all these establishments.
So can you call upon people to come and train in organic farming?
So what I can say, RUCID has 3 sections. We have rural community and development, which is the mother, which trains farmers in organic farming, but also skills farmers in organic farming. But also we have RUCID Vocational Training College, whereby we train young people in organic farming to become farmers, to become extension workers. But also we train in other short courses. So I call upon everybody who is out there to come and join this training. We are fully registered by the Ministry of Education, by DIT, but also by the National Bureau of NGO Board. So I want to thank you for listening, and please, I am waiting to see you when you come for the training.